Praise God. Our Heavenly Father, as we come before you this evening, we want to thank you for all your many, many blessings. And Heavenly Father, we just ask you to be with the people out here that's struggling with this weather, can't get out, and just different things. We just ask you to be with them and help them, Lord. In some way, send help to them. Heavenly Father, be with our employees at the courthouse, our first responders, and Lord, give us the knowledge and wisdom to make the best decisions for our county. We'll give you the glory in Jesus' name. Good.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. All the three commissioners is here, Ron and Candace, and we'll, you got anything for the agenda?
There was a correspondence officer of the governor regarding the county fire protection. The Office of Sheriff new hire, an executive session requested for personnel. And obviously the meeting with Charlie Johnson, that's gonna be later. Yeah. Line through it.
So do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
I'm sorry.
Approve the agenda.
Yeah, approve the agenda, good. Okay, did you guys read over the minutes?
No.
Nope, nope. Didn't read over them?
I thought we had already approved the December 22nd ones, but we had not. So I just noticed that when I was looking over, so I have to go through those before I present them to make sure. Because I don't know what wasn't completed on them.
No, we got two sets of them.
January 5th,
Fifth and
which is our
13th.
first meeting where we elect the president, and our last commission meeting,
Yes,
our last regular meeting on the 13th. I
yes.
still have the work session from last Thursday.
So I'm assuming your motion was for both sets of minutes?
They didn't make a motion yet, they haven't read them. That was for the agenda.
I thought maybe.
No, they
Amended.
made the motion to approve the agenda.
Yeah, I know that.
If I may interrupt, on talking with the code section for the special emergency ambulance service fee, that's 715.7, it's actually referred to as a special emergency ambulance service fee. So I changed the minutes to reflect that as opposed to we just call it kept on a use fee for ambulance services.
Oh.
I think we go on to do them. A lot of discussion.
January 5th. January 13th.
I'll second that. I approve that all. Okay, going down to, public comments. Sign in there, Cody. Oh, there we please. Thank you. Public comments. Anybody have anything to say? Comment. Okay. We've got, sheriff's report here for the month of December. What do we do, some of that? We've got a thing here from Riley Moore, annual report.
And I was gonna get a copy of the whole thing. He said each of you received one already,
Yeah.
but I have a full one in the office if anybody doesn't
Okay.
look over that. It's also, I believe, on the site.
Yeah. Okay, so we also have, you know. Let me get through this here. We also have, resignation letter from the assistant dog warden who appreciates us giving the opportunity to serve the people of Mineral County. So he posted his doing so. Okay, we're working on that. Okay, come to comments here. I didn't get this paper to just now, so we have Wayne.
Yes, sir.
You wanna,
As of 5 o'clock.
you have a 5 o'clock appointment on here? Okay, I never looked at the second page. So we'll get to you here a little bit then. Okay. We got a credit for our original jail bill of $807.30. We do have, paper here for Frank from PSD. And, Jason confirmed it, but they told me also that since you have water and sewer, that you're required to have 5 members on board. So. You could put somebody on there.
This was the election of officers.
Yes, this is the serving now, yes. But we need one more. All right, we'll move on down to West Virginia.
Question,
Yes, ma'am.
that had a 30-day time period that was supposed to be filled, which was back in June of 2023. Could we get that
Yeah.
filled this evening?
Well,
You only have one candidate.
When we get the boards and appointments, we'll address that.
yeah.
Okay, I just asking.
Motions can't be made under correspondence. It's under old business.
It'll be here in just a couple minutes.
Okay.
right.
Do you wanna read through those?
Oh, you want me to read the elected officials for that? Douglas Belsford? Is that how you pronounce that?
Brailsford,
B-R-E-L-S. He's the board chair. Jeff Adams is secretary. Jerry Thrones is treasurer. And Curtis Morgan Senior, he's on the board too. So that's the 4 people on the board right now. All right. All right, we got a letter here from the legislation about the auditor's office about the volunteer fire departments. What are we gonna do about their money? I know, I'm just asking. Is it on the agenda? I haven't looked down through this.
Which money?
Reimbursing them for the money they paid.
Well, that's on the agenda. That is.
Yes, you got it on there?
Yes.
Because we are, I don't know if these guys are, but I'm getting some slack over that.
What do you, under your correspondence that says the West Virginia Legislative Auditors changed the fire department audit, that just.
That's the requirements that they need to provide a specific form. That's not the reimbursement.
Because
No,
we're
it's-
already providing them month by month data of every account, which they sent us, so we're sending that down the road to Charleston.
I think everybody's compliant with this. It just.
You know, was this also sent to every department?
This was sent to those, yes, the ones that did not provide the documentation, it was sent there.
Okay.
And I had a request to you for a copy of the levy.
Mhm.
I don't have it, so I need to send that just for our response.
Okay. And Colby, did you guys get anything on the West Virginia annual reminder and clarification of the West Virginia State Code requirements?
No, oh yeah, just we have to turn our reports in.
The audit,
Yeah,
the
our
audit office.
So they will, for every fire department, volunteer fire company in the state, if we don't submit our fire reports through FEMA in a timely fashion, which is usually about a quarter behind, if we don't stay within 1 quarter behind, they'll stop our state funds until we catch up. Or if the legislative auditor's office has something, they will also put our funds on hold until we answer the question. One time Short Caps money was held up for a grant for like $132 that we had to go back and find the receipt where we spent the money and match it up and send it in. So they held up, $15,000 for, but we did it. And so that's what that letter was for. And we received it.
4 or 5 fire departments that are on hold right now.
I think we're at 4.
4, yeah,
Yes, Elk Garden Centers.
okay.
And we also received a letter here from Patrick Morsi stating that I am pleased to announce the county should be receiving $52,581.39 as part of a fire protection fund. So that'll help a little bit.
That's not until new business, the next thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So the rest of it's just
All
on the
right.
agenda.
So we'll go down. It's a quarter till. What do we have?
They're probably gonna be on by 2. Like,
Suffolk County Foundation.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, they are. She's on there.
Is she on there?
Suffolk Community Foundation.
If you go to the end of your packet, well, actually, if you just put 2 letters, yeah. No, 3 pages, go 3 pages.
Hi, good evening. I'm Angie Pace. I'm the Development Director for the Tucker Community Foundation. I appreciate you all letting me join you by Zoom today. The weather was a little tricky for us to make our way from Tucker County down to Mineral to visit you guys. Maybe some other time we can stop in and see you in person. But I really do appreciate the opportunity to have a few minutes this evening to go over our budget request for our Run For It program that I'm sure you are very familiar with. We have visited you several times. For those in the room that aren't very familiar with us or this program, the Tucker Community Foundation was founded in 1989 out of the flood of 1985. I'm happy to report that as of the beginning of this year, we are now part of a 10-county service area that encompasses Barber, Grant, Mineral, Pendleton, Pocahontas, Preston, Randolph, Tucker, and Upshur counties in West Virginia, as well as Garrett County in Maryland. And our mission is to inspire a sustainable future through a culture of giving without expecting any personal gain. Our foundation has been very proud to represent Mineral County through grants and scholarships to help support programs and students in Mineral County, ensuring that education and opportunities are accessible to all. And throughout the years, you've had several organizations and nonprofits and charitable groups participate in our Run For It program. We've been very happy to have them, and we're looking forward to the groups that come to participate this year in September. We also manage several funds, endowed and unrestricted, that support programs and students there in Mineral County. And I'm happy to also report that in 2025, Mineral County received $1,300 in grant funding from the foundation for the Tri-Towns After School program, and 3 Mineral County students were awarded scholarships totaling $4,500 from the foundation this past year. So we're very happy to have our footprint there in Mineral County. We're looking forward to expanding that and growing there. Just last week at our annual board meeting, we were happy to welcome Crystal Moreland of the Mineral County CASA as one of our new board members. So we're thrilled to have her. And she can be a strong voice for the folks in the communities of Mineral County with the foundation. So we really look forward to working with her in the coming years. Those of you that aren't familiar with Run For It, it was a program created here in the foundation by the foundation in 2007. It promotes healthy activities while supporting funding for nonprofit and charitable groups in our 10-county service area. Since its inception in 2007, the program has raised $3.6 million throughout the participants, the fees, the sponsorships that they raise, and any awards that they receive, participating through the 6-month campaign once registration starts. Since 2019, York County Commission has pledged $8,500 to the Run For It program for various local organizations, nonprofits, charitable groups that have participated in the event since 2018. They've raised over $38,000 to bring back to Mineral County to raise awareness for their work, but also that funding is really no strings attached funding that they're able to raise. The funds that they raise don't go to the foundation. It comes right back to your community and those organizations. Last year, Mineral County did only have one team. They had 6 participants, but it was a new team. They were new to us, and they really showed up, and they were great to have. I'm so excited for them to come back next year. They represented the Mineral County Family Resource Network, and I really hope that they can recruit some other teams to come along with them this year. They were a really fun group to have. They worked really hard. And they joined the campaign kind of near the tail end of the fundraising window, but they did a phenomenal job, and they were able to bring back $2,836 for their organization. This year, the race will take place on Saturday, September 26th in Davis. It is held in conjunction with our Leaf Peepers Festival that we have here annually, and we will have a 2K walk as well as a 5K walk run. We always encourage anyone who is interested or is part of an organization or group that needs funding to participate, be a team captain, recruit folks, get sponsorships. And as always, we would love to see you, the commissioners, out on race day. Even if you don't want to run or walk, we love having you there with us, seeing the people in your community come out and raise funds, and just have a great afternoon at the race and at the festival afterwards. This year, we would like to request a pledge of $1,500 from the Mineral County Commission to support Run For It. Again, the funds provided go only to those organizations participating from Mineral County. So that money that is raised and that you pledge comes only to Mineral County. It doesn't go anywhere else. It comes back into your communities to help those organizations do the important work that they do. So in closing, again, I would just, any groups, any nonprofits, school organizations, again, this year we'll have a separate category for high school athletic teams. We encourage anyone that needs to raise funds to come out. This is a huge event. It has grown year after year. And it's just such a positive thing that we see up here and see what an impact it has on the 10 counties that we serve and what a difference it truly makes to these groups. So if you know of any nonprofits that need to raise funds, my contact information is in the letter and in the packet that I provided you by email. Please have them call. I'm happy to talk to anyone about how fundraising, starting a team. We just want to see this keep growing year after year. And we love that Mineral County comes each year and they're well represented.
Okay, well, thank you, and we'll get that, try to get that information out there. And, we'll keep you on our, when it comes to our budget, we'll definitely keep you on that and do what we can do, okay?
Thank you so, so much. Again, thank you for your time. Everyone stay safe and stay warm.
Thank you, and you too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, if anybody wants a registration form for that, if you ain't running, I have a couple here you can have. I don't run anymore, just for your advice. If you ever see me run, you better run too, because there's something after. I quit that a long time ago. All right, it's, okay, what we got next here? Oh. We got this about the. Well, this is new business. We have the boards here, old business. Yep. Boards, down the boards and appointments. So we got one letter. Brian wanting to put on the Frankfurt PSD. And they need one. No, you haven't got any more, have you? So. What's your thoughts?
Only thing I have is, like I mentioned before, I really think we need to start looking at interviewing and stuff for some of these boards, especially any PSD board, really. Some of this has brought to light how important it is to have the right person on there, so just, not that anything's going on with the ones that are there, but I don't think you just want to put anybody on these boards. So, that's my opinion. If you guys want to go through an interview process, if you want to appoint Brian, if you want to do something else, it's up to you all. Let me hear what you all think.
Well, they know that we was one short. You got the information out there, didn't you? They was one. We haven't got any others. We need to, actually, according to the PSC, we need to appoint one. So that's what I think.
The only other thought I've had is because, just finding out that there are paid positions or paid posts. Again, I think interview process will be great because they get compensated for going to the board meetings. But if we just need to get through Frankfurt PSD, get somebody on the board now, and then come up with a strategy, protocol of how we're gonna do it for future boards, I'm open to that too, so.
Either a interview, some kind of an interview, or a resume of some sort. So that we know more about a person than just a letter that they're interested in. For these kind of boards.
44 years in construction.
Yeah.
And
So do we want to appoint Brian? Sure. I'll make a motion if nobody else does, then to appoint Brian to the PSD, Frankfurt PSD. Do I hear a second?
I said,
I agree, dude.
Okay, so
And that is
you're on the board, so.
immediately. I'm gonna attend the
It
next
would be-
meeting.
Should be, yeah.
Okay.
I think I encourage, I don't have the list of it in that pile, but I encourage all of you to work for the benefit of the people. I will.
The reason behind it is for the community.
Yeah, good, great. That's good. Okay. Let's move on, update on the courthouse improvement.
Courtroom, correct?
Courthouse, the whole project in general,
Okay.
including the court.
So I know that Fair Chance came back, I believe it was, Jake. Looked at some of the projects that need to be completed, needed to take one more look, I'm assuming. I don't know that anybody's been back to complete any of the projects. That's the punch list.
Okay.
But there are several things out there, they are aware, they do have a list. I know that you had asked me about the roof, the sheriff's, law enforcement building, right? That's on the punch list, so
What's wrong with the roof?
there's a little bit of a
Bulging out.
bubble.
We don't know if it's leaking underneath of it. But the big rubber
Yeah,
flooring coating, whatever you wanna call it, is.
The roofing, actually,
Yeah.
is blown up.
And then on the outside, the ductwork coming in, there's a seal that's broken, so you literally got heat coming outside. Rather than going in.
So I'm actually following up with them about elevators. So I will see when the plan is to come back on site. And get an update for the next meeting. I'll let you all know prior to. For the courtroom, I started the section 1 process. However, I did get some feedback from a judge this morning, that some changes would like to be made. So I have to go through that process and talk with our architect, and then after that, we'll go through the Supreme Court if it's feasible, as far as the changes that have been brought to my attention. So that's where I'm at with those things, but I'll get an update for the punch list.
What about the door? The door that the wind keeps blowing, do we have any resolution, do we have any possible resolution for that, or?
So I'm gonna recommend that we hinge it on the other side and match the other door, so maybe the wind won't catch it. I don't know.
Is there a chance to put that in, or did, Glass put it in? Alright, probably
We've reached out to them.
see what kind of estimate they want for switching that around. I guess they're gonna make us pay for it,
Yes.
unfortunately, just,
I'm waiting for them to respond. I know Tammy has a work order in with them, but I'm not sure. I asked them to come on site and look at it.
okay,
I'll get more information on that.
thank you.
is that it?
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, update on the CDBG grant for the health department. It's coming along pretty good. I think they're going probably about April. I don't know if this weather's gonna throw it back a little bit, but it should be completed pretty much in April. And, when I was in Charleston here the other week, I did share the pictures of that along with, well, they seen the mobile health clinic there. I showed them pictures of that the last time I was down there, the other time I was down there, but I showed them the building and they're well pleased, you know. And, they was well pleased with that building. Very few people, she told me, the lady I shared them with that works for us, is out the CDBG grants. She said very few people shares updates with him. She said, we really appreciated that. So looks nice. It looks real good. So,
We also have to pay out 22 that needs to be.
yeah, I seen that, yeah.
We got information on that?
Yeah, right here.
Right at the top.
I'll make a copy of it.
I know it should say this strong.
22, I think.
It's 216, is that what it is? Where's the
It's in the middle,
withdrawal?
it says this strong.
Yeah.
I don't see it. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, go back. One more. Right there in the middle. Amount requested
Oh,
withdrawal.
I thought you said withdrawal.
This.
Withdrawal, I can't hear. I'm about half stopped up.
Line.
Yeah, 200, that's what I said, $216,890, it was on this too. So, do I hear, we wanna pay this?
President, the son.
Yeah,
Make a motion, we approve pay application
22.
number 22 for the health department and authorize president to sign. Second.
approve it also. What's the second one for? Is there two different numbers on this?
Sometimes there's two different,
There's 216.
sometimes there's one to hardball and then one for.
This is to,
Hardball.
Bethesda.
Bethesda.
This is to Bethesda. And it is for Work completed, 245,000, is that? That's awful high.
That's what they use the ball money.
Yeah, I thought we were just doing hardball and regional administrative costs. But when you get the opioid, can you start on?
This might just be an update of what they.
Yeah, they usually have an invoice page,
Mhm.
like the second or third page. All of our best.
Huh?
Our ball or our bell? It's our bell.
Corbell.
Our bell.
Part of this payout. On this page, it's just stuff in it.
And there's 240,000 here, but it's not there.
It's usually the second page. And then it was-
For the invoice, it says Barbell Inc.
Work completed.
Voltage 16 is Marvell. Okay.
It does.
All of it,
Mhm.
so we're good with this.
Yeah, I'm just looking at but it says Barbell Inc., invoice 8, construction, and then the 216.
I reckon that's for, okay. Okay, so. It's 200, what did I say it was? $216,898.20.
That's correct.
Okay, we'll get that a little later down to it. All right.
You want to wait?
Oh, it's about, yes, sorry. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying any attention to the time. I didn't realize it's still done. You want to stand up here for next page?
So, February in 2018, a friend of our family passed away down in Short Gap. Name was Catherine Rader. A year and 4 months later, no one was appointed to the executor of the state. It's a year and 4 months later. As my understanding, the law says that the county clerk is supposed to do that within 2 months.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody can qualify after 30 days,
Yeah.
About 60 days, 30 days.
30 days,
Okay.
small states.
So anyway, this is a year, 4 months later. I went to Adams Funeral Home. And they said they didn't want nothing to do with it. They gave me the death certificate and everything. I came to the courthouse, found out what paperwork I needed to fill out. I had to be bonded and all this. But a couple weeks later, I came back up and they said that someone had already been appointed as the executor of the will. So at that time, I just dropped it. I told them, I said, if I would be interested in the property if they decide to sell it. And I gave them my name and left. Just recently, I started researching it again because no activity's been done to the property. That's almost 8 years later. No, and the property is supposed to be given to Salvation Army of Cumberland, Maryland. All of her worldly possessions were supposed to be given to them. $1 was supposed to be given to her husband, ex-husband. As of today, nothing has been done to that extent. I contacted Salvation Army of Cumberland, have not been no one has contacted them from. Mr. Conley is the executor of the will. He appointed himself as the executor. I don't know how a state employee can do that.
I don't know if he appointed himself, but he applied for it. You applied for it, right? Right.
But I just don't understand how in their ethics, how Mr. Conley can do that. But anyway, it is what it is. Salvation Army of Cumberland is supposed to take all of her possessions. How did her truck get sold? Her house, what, a small estate like that, why hasn't it been closed in 8 years?
It's still open.
Still open.
Were they supposed to get the land itself, or were they supposed
They
to
were
get
supposed to get
the,
everything.
or were they supposed to get the value of it after it was sold?
They were supposed to take possession of everything. Her truck, all of her belongings. This
Okay.
will was in the county works. Index. You can.
And that's what it states in her will.
It wasn't supposed to be sold and money given to them. They were supposed to take possession of all of her belongings.
Okay, Lord, since this goes through, are you familiar with it?
Well, since, the past couple weeks been getting updated on it, pulled the file, looked over it with the sheriff. Called my former employee who's retired and what she could recall of the estate as well. What we have in the estate, that she had been deceased for 1.5 years. Anybody can open a state after 30 days. As I spoke to, Mr. Conley and to Mr. Long and even to the sheriff about the process, when somebody comes into the clerk's office and they ask about an estate, we tell them pretty much all the same thing. If there's an executor of the will, they're the ones that are gonna handle the estate. If they're not gonna handle the estate, they have to sign a waiver. Mr. Adams was named as the executor. He waived, said he didn't want to do it. There was no secondary executor named. Therefore, the person qualifying was gonna be an administrator CTA and required to be bonded. So as we do with all estates, we told the individual, whoever it is, when they come in, this is the process. And then bonded for the amount of the assets of the estate. Bonder, be appointed. So in between, I guess, him initially coming in, which we don't imagine the number of people that we have come in and inquire about the states and of course never come back. So in between Mr. Long not coming back in, Mr. Conley had come in and inquired. He had a bonder, he was bonded, he was appointed. He did do the appraisement and inventory of the estate was published. But then, of course, in updating this over the past couple months, that's when COVID hit. Then, so that closed everything down, for actually more than 1 year, closer to 2 years. And not to put their personal information out there, but they had some family. They also had some illness in the family, so that kind of took their priority and understandable for the family. This has brought everything back to light. In talking to Mr. Conley, he has communicated with the Salvation Army. He has also talked to several individuals about.
That's been recently.
Yes, this was in the last 2 weeks, yeah. Several individuals about purchasing the property, which I think that's moving forward as well. In regards to the truck and talking to Mr. Conley, because he approached me about how do I close out this estate, like what do I do? Because an administrator doesn't actually have authority to sell real estate, so Salvation Army is gonna be involved in that process anyway. There was a pickup involved. I do know, and he did this as an individual, not as a county employee, he did this as an individual. They have actually taken a personal loss with the estate. They have put their own money into repairing some of the issues in the house, replacing the windows, making sure it had house insurance. There's only $88 left in the estate. So they paid the house insurance this year out of their own pockets. They weren't going to recoup their costs in cleaning the house, nor were they going to take the administrator fee that they're allowed to take. But in lieu of services rendered and these expenses, they did transfer the title of the vehicle into their name. They used the vehicle to help empty out the house. So, and they can't get insurance on the vehicle unless they transfer it into their name. So they did transfer it into their name shortly, I guess, after being appointed. It did have flat tires and a dead battery, and it wasn't running, so they had to get it running. New tires, and all of which they did not take that cost out of the estate either. So they haven't gained anything from this, nor will they gain anything from the sale of the house, because all goes to Salvation Army. So that's just kind of an overview of where we are, on my end of it.
You purchased it from the estate, correct?
It was
It was
for services
Transfer.
rendered, transfer. We have all the
for the
documentation.
clean out of the, which was the only thing that.
My whole point of view is this, if this was supposed to be donated to Salvation Army, why is he putting more money into the home?
So, yeah, that's kind of my question. Why, Jeff, why did you do improvements to the home
we have the will with us and it doesn't specify that. Yes, after the estate is settled, then everything is supposed to go to the Salvation Army of South Cumberland.
And it goes to the estate.
Why is it taking so long to settle this? I mean, it's been 8 years.
It's been 6 years, it's 2019. We've had nobody until recently offered us money on the house. We've shown it, we've had contractors come in and no one would purchase it, no one would buy it. And it wasn't until Mr. Long came in and someone else within the last few weeks inquired and have offered. But when we pass this on to the Salvation Army, they want to have their own appraisement done of the property because they feel that what's been offered is a little low, so, but they have the ultimate say in it. And, you know, everything we've done according to, you know, with the estate, before we've done anything, we have checked through the county clerk's office to make sure that we were doing it the way it's supposed to be done. We've never done an estate before. We have the will here, and
Why wouldn't you sign it over to the Salvation Army, just give them the deed and the title and everything?
it doesn't state that in the will, and I didn't realize that until recently, that the real property, yes, but everything else as far as being the administrator of the estate, we had to settle any encumbrances and things like that. So we took on the project of cleaning out the house, which was in really bad shape after a year and a half that no one came forward and it sat open, and did improvements because we were trying to keep the value of the house up so that when it sold, it at least sold and the Salvation Army would have, you know, what the value of the state was according to the original appraisals.
So what prompted you to even sign on as executor to begin with?
In 2018, when she passed away, it was myself and Deputy Seville at the time. There was a well-being check. I was right there, he was right there, we stopped. We were the ones that found Mrs. Rader had passed and everything. She had been dead for a while, so the state of the house was pretty bad. They had to break the front door to get in and everything. So once that was clear and everything like that, it was just, we just closed it up and left. And then it was a year and 3 or 4 months later, it's right along Route 28. I was going through there one day and the front door was wide open. You could see it from the road. So I just stopped, pulled it closed, and I put a cement block up against the door. And when I came back to the courthouse, Jeremy Taylor was the sheriff, and I told him, because he was on the scene too that day, and said that the house was open, you know, and he was the one who started. He said, go to the county clerk's office, find out who the administrator of the account of the state is, and have them pass on that information, you know, that the house was open and everything. And that's when they come to find out, when they were looking up, that no one had come forward. And actually, that was when they found out that the administrator of the estate, according to the will, when they pulled it, was to be Adam's funeral home. And they just said they were going to be sending the packet to Cumberland, and that was it. And then it wasn't until several weeks later that no one had came forward, and Adam's Funeral Home had sent a letter back with stuff saying they did not want to do it. So it was just an open estate at that point.
So you came in and asked about it, and in the meantime, he came in and
I've been a family friend for 30-some years with her.
after a year and a half, or a year and 4 months. That seems kind of coincidental.
So, this isn't the only estate I've had acquaintance with. I've had trouble in Mineral County. I can mention another one also. When Mr. Johnny Strawn passed away on Champwood back in 2024. He laid there, decomposed in the home. The house was being sold at the courthouse steps, came up to purchase it. Me and another friend, Garrett Livingood, he owns Mountain State Property Buyers. We were both there to purchase the property. we were both standing there waiting for the lady to come out or sell the property. Mr. Elfrich, Buddy Elfrich, the sheriff, came up, grabbed a hold of the lady by the arm, and said, "Hey, I need to talk to you inside." So he pulled her inside, spoke to her for about 5 minutes, brought her back out. They started the auction, started like 85,000, started going up $10,000-15,000 at a time. Went up to $150,000, and Mr. Elfrich made a comment, said that's all Mr. Strawn had in his estate. I'm out. So at that time, Mr. Livingood purchased the property at $160,000. I'm thinking, this gentleman only owed $53,000 on his estate. Why did the loan not get paid, for one, out of his estate? And then why was the sheriff of Mineral County up there trying to purchase the property that he was the executor of?
You shouldn't have done it.
No, he was there in his capacity as the executor to protect his estate.
Yeah, but
He had, yeah, he had been in communication with the bank as to what could and couldn't be done, and what he should and shouldn't do.
unless they've changed the rules, I know this for a fact, if you are an executor of an estate, you can't buy the real estate.
He was protecting the estate, so it would stay in the
He was
estate.
protecting, he
Yeah,
wasn't.
he wasn't buying it as an individual.
That's what he was.
He don't have the money to buy as an individual. He was doing it as the executor to protect the interest of the estate. He had been in communication with the bank, and of course, the bank wouldn't, they had issues with the payments, which Chris and Kathy could put more into that, because I didn't deal with any of that. But, dealing with the bank and getting it caught up, and it, to the point that they went to this foreclosure. And then he checked that day, because it, probably for 4 or 5 days, they went back and forth, but they said they were going to hold off the sale. Then they said they were going to do the sale, but they told him what he could and couldn't do
But so he could get in there and bid on it and run the bid up?
to protect what the value of the estate was.
And what if he'd have won the bid? What if one of them stepped out at $130,000?
Then the would have stayed at the estate, it would have stayed in the estate. He already had it on the market. He already had it on the market with a, realtor. It was already actually, I don't even know if maybe there was I don't recall exactly, but I think there was already a contract on it. And so that's, I think, the amount that the contract was for. So his responsibility as the executor of the estate was to ensure that the estate didn't take a loss.
So there was 2 pieces of property, this estate. One was held by the loan of the property, the other one was free and clear. Now, Mr. Elfrich took it upon himself to sell their other piece of property to the neighbor for $12,000. Without advertising, anything, just sold it to the neighbor for $12,000. This gentleman lived in this house since 2002, and he only had 24 items listed on his whole.
I don't wanna speak of it because we don't know of any family, but, and I don't wanna put it out there, but the individual had been in the home expired for a large amount of time. And there wasn't much in that house that was being able to maintain. Anything that was material or fabric had to be possible. They opened the windows and let the windows open for probably
At a cost of $6,000
months.
by J&J Cleaning.
Well, it was, everything in there had to go.
J&J Cleaning, I think it's owned by Mr. Conley.
Is that your business?
We were, he hired us outside,
Who hired you, the sheriff?
the sheriff did the estate, yeah.
Sheriff Elfrich.
The other property, did Jeremy Taylor tell you to, why was it putting your name in on Jeremy Taylor's name?
He didn't, well, I mean, it has to be, someone has to come forward and request the sheriff be appointed as administrator of the estate. That's why it sat for a year and a half, because no one came forward to be the administrator or to request that the sheriff be made an administrator.
Then my next question is, if it needed to have somebody after 30 days, why did it sit there for a year and a half? For a year and 4
Greater.
months? Yeah, for Raider.
Because we don't personally do estates in the clerk's office. We only appoint people. And it's not like we advertise, hey, we got an estate out there. Somebody has to step forward.
It didn't go to it probably would have been flagged a lot sooner had she paid taxes on it, because it would have been sold at a tax sale. But because of the value of the estate and her age, she had the homestead exemption, it was below the level. So there were actually, at that time, no taxes on it. But once the estate was open, then we were able to get it back on the tax records and to begin paying taxes on it again. And she had no family, no heir, no, nothing, no one came forward.
I just want to bring this to your light. I mean, I don't know if you knew about it or, you know.
I know the sheriff had the one in 24, but I didn't know all that went on with it.
This is only two of them. How many other ones are in the state that's Mineral County that's not being discovered? I mean, this is just two of them I'm associated with, so.
Usually, if a sheriff is lucky, he only has to do one estate in his term, so.
But why wasn't the sheriff appointed instead of Mr. Conley, like in Mr. Strawn's occasion?
I would say he came forward as an individual.
But a year and a half later.
Oh, I had one come in the other day that opened a new estate from 2018, a brand new estate. The estate was never opened. It was a family member, but at the time, they didn't need to open it. Now they're trying to sell real estate, and now they're opening it. It happens all the time.
Why wasn't the will abided by giving all the possessions to?
They are the heirs to the estate. Mr. Conley has he had done an inventory and appraisement of the estate.
That is not listed on the
It's
paper.
public record. It's on, yes, it's on, if you go to the county,
Itemized list.
the appraisement and inventory.
It just says $300 of worldly, household items, a Dodge truck, 2001 Dodge truck,
And a bank
and a
account.
bank account of $5,079.70.
And then he has that exact balance going into the estate account. When he opened an estate account, he has an accounting of every check from that, which only has $88 in there. Like I said, they've used their own money to pay the electric, to pay the house insurance, to buy the windows, and clean it out.
But at that point, there should have been no upgrade done to the home. The home should have just been given to Salvation Army and they would have done with it whatever they wanted.
Or they-
He would not have had to drain the bank account. Salvation Army would have had $5,000 plus the home, plus the truck. They could have sold all of it as a
They're
lump sum.
selling it, and by, as I understood in conversation, that they were trying to make it presentable to sell it for more, to bring more to the Salvation Army.
It's understandable, but at that point, it wasn't his.
Yeah, I think if it was supposed to be turned over to the Salvation Army, that's not his call to make improvements to the property.
They're the heirs.
It doesn't say to turn it over to the Salvation Army.
You have to will
It
it.
says duties and discretions granted to or imposed upon him or her by law, my personal representative shall particularly the power to invest and reinvest, sell, assign, mortgage, exchange, lease, transfer, or otherwise dispose of all or any part of the estate, all in the sole discretion without application to or approval of, or the ratification by the court having jurisdiction over the administration of my estate, provided that the personal representative shall not take any action which would prevent the devise or bequest of any specific items named herein. And the only item named herein was the dollar to her ex-husband, who is deceased. So we thought that we could improve the state of the house a little bit with the little bit of money that she had and sell it for much more. Like, we've had people come and look at the house and they've made it one step in the door and said they wouldn't give us $100 for it. It didn't even stay.
The house is in bad shape.
It is. He plans to tear it down if he gets to purchase it.
Are you interested in purchasing?
Yeah, it used to be my dad's property.
Yeah.
It borders my other property too, so that's why I've been interested in buying it, yes.
And we have notified the Salvation Army that he has put in an offer. And she thought it was a little low just based on the tax records, and she wants to have an appraisal, an independent appraisal, not just the tax records.
But now, after 6, 7, 8 years, whatever it is, now the Salvation Army's involved in it. Has been informed, and now they want to be involved in it.
They have to be involved in the sale.
Whether we sold it 6 years ago or
They
today,
didn't
they have
do
to
that,
be-
but
they
the
have-
administrator does not have authority to sell real estate, even though it talks at the representative. But in the will, it nominates Mr. Adams. It doesn't have a secondary executor.
In my opinion, Salvation Army should have been contacted day one.
That's, when were they contacted?
just 2 weeks ago.
when we got our first offer on the house
last week,
last week.
and I did speak to the Salvation Army.
I spoke to him myself too. Crystal.
They
and
were
they-
notified as of last Wednesday.
We do beneficiary and air letters now. We have a new estate program that we've been using, and one of the features in it, it actually just generates a letter to all heirs and beneficiaries. That's part of our regular process now for every estate. I don't know the date, what year we actually started that. I'm thinking 22, 23, maybe. Prior to that, we did not send notices to all the heirs and beneficiaries. But the new estate program allows us to just click and send those out.
So what, now I'm a little, I don't know what to do about this. What do we do?
Nothing.
I just wanted to bring it all attention, how this whole thing was being handled, you know, when you want your estate to be handled, there's situation.
Sure. I want to be done. Well, I know. Only dealt with one estate, and I know I wasn't allowed to buy nothing.
Yeah.
I know that. Being the executive of the state, but are you gonna get another appraisal on it?
The Salvation Army.
Well, they don't have nothing in it till after it's sold, correct? Then they get the proceeds.
Unless you give them the deed.
Unless they take, they did not accept the offer. They want to have an independent appraisal of the property because they felt it was too low. So they want to look, because they want to lay eyes on the property. And this isn't the South Cumberland, Salvation Army. When we spoke with them, they passed it on to their legal department, which is, I believe, in downstate Maryland. And the attorney, she says they want to see it and everything like that, and then they'll make it, because they wanted to check tax records and everything in case there are, and to use her term, that if there's mineral rights and everything, they need to know, that they're not giving away a piece of property for 15,000, come to find out that there's mineral rights on it that they would have lost out on.
I need to clarify, so I don't understand any of this, but what I understand is the Salvation Army is now dictating what this estate's gonna do when the estate still has control of the property.
Yeah, it's exactly, that's why.
That makes no sense. There's a couple things that make no sense to me. I don't understand why any personal money would have been put into something that should have just been signed over. None of that makes any sense.
Well, it's not.
I don't understand how you let stuff sit in your office, don't remember, and remember key details too, so, but that's just how your office operates.
This beneficiaries of the estate, like I said, they were trying to improve it to get more out of it when it was sold. And then shoot, what was I gonna say something? But in West Virginia, an administrator does not have authority to sell the real estate. So now that they're at the stage where they've had an offer, and Mr. Conley doesn't have the authority to sign that deed. So now that they've had an offer, then the Salvation Army will actually be the one that actually signs the transaction.
If he had contacted them from day one, they could have worked together to sell the property instead of waiting 7, 8 years later.
That's honestly, that's what really blows my mind. Jeff, honestly, I mean, you waited 7 years, you couldn't sell it anyway. Why are you holding on to this and putting your own money into it or whatever, or her money or whose ever money, putting money into building this up, and you haven't even contacted the Salvation Army to begin with when you can't even sell it. I don't understand that.
Well, I can't claim anything other than, this is the first estate we've ever done, and we thought we were doing something good for the Salvation Army, which holds something close to us and everything, especially the Salvation Army in South Cumberland. And it was just more of an emotional thing for me because I was the first one in, found Mrs. Rader, and then just the circumstance behind it and everything. We were not aware of the process of when it got down to offers on the house, the real property, how that worked, because we had never gotten that far anywhere over the years, because no one was interested in it. And we had thought about going to a real estate agent, but we couldn't pay. It wasn't our place to, hire a real estate agent, because then the estate would be losing more money because there'd be percentages and stuff.
And we we did think that the Salvation Army had been notified as the beneficiary.
But by the time they got the house cleared out, COVID had come on. And that shut everything down for 2 years, and not to talk about personal health issues, but they had a member of the family that they were taking care of that was passing away of cancer. So that, the house was not the priority at that time, but this ain't.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I would think that you become an executor and you see that Salvation Army should be involved. No, you can't sell the land. I would have been talking to Salvation Army from the get-go, from the very beginning. To find out what they want to do. If they want it cleaned up, then clean it up and get it taken care of. And then it could be sold or however, whatever they wanted to do, but it seemed like they should have been the one making the call on this, and they weren't even involved until 2 weeks ago, after 8 years, the woman passed away.
Plus, it doesn't look good for the county, having a county official handling this. I know it's legal and everything, I know it's legal, but it just doesn't look good for us as county employees bidding or taking action on somebody's estate.
And then Mr. Conley's address appears on the tax assessment of the county clerk as personal address. It says Catherine Rader, Jeff Conley, and his personal address for all personal mail and stuff to go to his address.
That was for the
Instead of going
the tax
directly-
bills would come to us, so we could pay those.
They don't deliver mail to the house that's empty.
Yes.
Per postal order, after 30 days, you cannot deliver to a vacant house. If the carrier knows that person passed away and it's a vacant house, they're ordered to take it back. So in the clerk's office, it would come right back to her, so it would be a loop on the tax bill. So mostly whenever we do have executors, that's what they do, is they will transfer the address or move the address over to an actually valid address where they can get the mail.
Well,
Mention that to executives.
one of the questions that I have is, why can't he sell it? Because the estate the estate that I was over, I sold it.
Were you the executor named in the will?
No, I was just like Jeff. I went and signed up for it.
West Virginia?
Right here in Mineral County.
Okay.
Were you an heir to the estate?
No, ma'am.
Well, then that will's not, or that deed is not, as an administrator, you didn't have authority to sell it.
Well, it went through the lawyer. John I. Rogers wrote it up, took it down to the judge. I forget which judge signed it. It was sold.
You might watch the other heir, it might have been your signature and the heir's signature.
No, wasn't no other heirs. No. John I was my lawyer that I hired to help do that. And he. Makes sense.
An administrator can't sell real estate, the heirs,
Mr. Eldridge sold property.
he was the sheriff. He was doing it as the sheriff, and actually, I believe he had a court order by the judge to sell that as for,
That's what I had.
yeah, okay, well, you had a court order.
I had a court order from the
The
judge
sheriff-
to sell the property.
The sheriff had to get an order because there were no known heirs. And that property did go for the foreclosure, it did sell. The money the excess money came back into the estate to the sheriff. And, then it came in after Bud left, I think it was May or June. And the sheriff sent that one to unclaimed properties then. And should any of the heirs ever show up for Mr. Strong?
It's Strachan or Strong.
No, it's different spelling. If any heirs ever do show up and prove that they are the living heir, because there were many attempts made to try and find a blood heir, then they can go through West Virginia unclaimed properties.
He does have heirs. He is from, I believe it's from Culpeper, Virginia. Found Mr. Strong's father's obituary where he has other brothers and sisters. So there is other relatives out there in Mr. Strong. I just Googled it, his name, and found out where he lived and found his past phone numbers. And if I'm a personal person, can find that.
Oh, he had to be doing it, but.
How much time did he actually put into it?
North Carolina, actually, they had to get the birth certificate from, but people from Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina, and I think this thing.
The day of the sale, Mr. Livingood went down to the property in Champwood to just walk around the property and see what he bought. He was stopped at the gate by a sheriff's deputy, was not allowed on the property. And witnessed Mr. Conley hauling stuff away on a trail.
because of the foreclosure, they had to have.
Foreclosure, everything left on the property at that time of the day, the sale should have stayed with the
Well,
property.
that's another thing the sheriff confirmed with the bank as to when they had to have everything off the property. So they had to get what they had or could sell, put towards the estate, which those assets went back into the estate. They had to have it off of the property before the transaction.
As an individual in Mineral County, I just think the whole, both of them were done shady, not by the book. So that's my
They
last,
were done properly, all the documentation is well on record.
I think something needs to be
The
investigated.
reason for this next particular one is due to, at the time of the deceased, after that, the estate became delinquent in the payments and collection agencies went unnoted and without response. Therefore, after the notices went unacknowledged, it went to foreclosure.
I don't know what Chris and Kathy have on that as
I
to,
just told you what they had.
I know, but as to what they did,
They weren't allowed to do anything on the estate. What I was just told.
they handled all the paperwork.
They were not allowed to do anything with the estate, which is what I was just told. We're not allowed to notify the collectors to tell them, hey, you can talk to me. They were told they couldn't talk to anybody but the sheriff. Or they said they couldn't talk to anybody but the sheriff because they had no permission to talk to anybody else but him.
Well, the banks probably wouldn't talk to anybody but the person appointed.
Never been the sheriff.
That's what Kathy does in my office. She handles that stuff.
Yeah, all the paperwork's there in the sheriff's office regarding that.
Telling you what was told.
But all the revenues, all the
Collection agencies
expenditures,
went months without any response from the tax office, and it got turned over to foreclosure. So,
That's my final word, but just hope it's,
Thank you for the information, Wayne.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I don't understand why you can't go to a lawyer though. And why they won't, the judge won't sign off when you sell it. Why does the salvation, because the party that was wanting to get the money when I sold that estate didn't have nothing in it. That's what I don't understand. They had nothing in it, but they got all the money.
he wants to pay for an attorney, but there's $88 in the estate.
Yeah, I know.
at the time, it was 5,000, wasn't it?
In the very beginning, but I know they take care of some things. I don't. They have,
Most of it went to taxes and homeowners insurance. We did have to have the electrical box, just to have the electric turned on. The electrical box had to be upgraded because the electric company had come and taken it off and they wouldn't put it back on, so that was $1,400.
Why even have the electric on? Cause we were trying to get people to come in.
Inside the house if you don't have electricity.
The house is.
And you had people, as soon as they come through the door, that wouldn't even give you $100 for it. That was your words, I believe.
Yeah.
And you went and put new windows in a house that people wouldn't even give $100. I don't understand.
Some of the windows were broken and before we took over, there had been some people in it because things were in disarray that shouldn't have been in disarray, and there were animals living in it. And so we replaced, and they were very small, very old casement windows. We didn't spend, thousands of dollars. It needed a new door so that the door would lock, and then it needed the animals to stop living in it and people to stop breaking in and taking things.
We really definitely understand securing the building, but I don't see putting new windows in a house that is in bad shape. I could see boarding them up or something, and, I think, Wayne, did you say your intent is you're just gonna tear the house down, right? So,
The house is so old, hauled in.
yeah, so where is this house at?
It's right across from my mom and dad's old property down over the hill there.
Oh, okay.
It's actually our old home place where.
Okay.
I'm just saying, at the beginning of this whole thing, we've been turned over to Salvation Army, this whole thing would have been cleared up by now. They wouldn't have to put all this extra money into the home, it's just been done.
But the will didn't say to turn it over to the Salvation Army. There was,
It didn't say to put improvements into the home either, it said sell.
It says invest.
Yes, it does.
It
Says
says,
send mortgage. I mean,
That's
you don't need to take a mortgage out.
it says the power to invest and reinvest, sell, assign, mortgage, exchange, lease, transfer.
And they have processed and everything is moving forward, so action is taken and it will probably be settled up within weeks, if not a month or so.
Okay.
I don't think,
Thanksgiving.
other than getting,
Do you
Rick?
care if, Seth would set the saw up down here in the basement to cut? It's not gonna be that many cuts.
I said no, I don't care.
Oh. He's there.
No,
It's just like you got.
they unmuted her computer.
Oh, go ahead, cut, it'll be okay.
I don't know what to tell you other than it's legal advice. I don't know, but I know you can sell, you go through the judge, they'll sign off on it. I do know that for a fact.
It's in the process now.
And,
They're assuming that Salvation Army is gonna pay for the appraisal, because there's no money in the estate to pay for the
We will
appraisal.
pay for the appraisal. We didn't do this for the money.
That's
yeah.
gonna be pretty pricey.
Yeah.
Appraisals are not cheap.
They're not cheap.
If
They
they,
said that the lady we talked to said they may just even send somebody out to lay eyes on the property.
Yeah.
They just wanna see it for themselves. They don't wanna, cause they're looking at the appraisal that was set down by the county. And then the offer that is 10,000 less than the appraisal, and they just wanna put eyes on it themselves. Before they make that decision of which way they wanna go. And there's a possibility, they said it, that they may just take conveyance of it themselves to future develop it. And, and they have that right.
I don't know what action we can take.
None, you don't have to take any action.
Other than the legal advice.
Just sitting here, it did take a long period of time, and I do apologize. It was not anything that we had thought we were gonna be doing. It's just circumstances, and then really not knowing what we were getting into. We thought it wouldn't be anything like this.
But if there's any way possible, Mr. Long could get it, it would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and we've submitted his offer to them.
and I told her I thought it was a fair offer. It is an offer for the value of the land.
Well, okay. I hope everybody the best.
Hey, 45 minutes.
What's that?
So we spent 45 minutes on that.
Oh, I know.
Here, midnight.
All right, yep, opioid.
All right. I got a report from Staggers House. Actually, this is the third quarter report from Staggers House. Where they've helped people get license and license and food and IDs and pharmacy meds and all kinds of stuff. So I would like to make a motion, we pay the other half of the 20,000, so 10,000, pay 10,000 to them out of the opioid money for their grant.
I make a motion, we approve that.
Or if you make a motion, you say.
Yeah, he said.
Second.
Okay. Is that all? Did you have more?
I'm still working on getting the meeting set up with everybody, so I need to get a hold of, I told him I'd be getting in there by the end of January, and that ain't happening, so
No,
I gotta move.
What about filling the vacancies?
I'm working on that as well, it's kind of the what's holding me up, so.
Oh.
All right,
all right, we're gonna discuss the emergency ambulance service fees. You got anything on that? We got a meeting with Megan, is that what you're?
yeah,
That's in February.
February,
Third.
10:30.
February 10:30.
I don't think we have anything on that right now.
I think that's right.
So the next thing is on the agenda is the rate increase for Frankfurt.
Have that on the agenda
Yeah.
because I didn't know what was gonna remain.
Do we need to, how do we officially communicate to them what was decided the other night? Do we need to send them an order or
We need to
anything?
do an order, yes, I was gonna get with Cassandra, sorry, Candace. I I am so sorry, Candace.
2 months and it's still happening, sorry.
At least I got a big case. If she could work that order up. Also, something else, I didn't know if we had to take any comment or action on Jennifer's formal objection.
This is kind of a mood issue now.
I know.
Yeah, I don't think
I
so.
know, but there was no follow-up on that, so I didn't know.
I tried.
And I did not get a chance to look at code to see if there was a required follow-up, so.
I didn't find anything if there is. I'm
Okay.
not saying that there isn't, there is, but I didn't find anything.
Okay, I just wanna make sure that didn't fall through the cracks there then. So yes, we need to do an order, we'll work on that with the. I did have a communication today about and also in the order would have to be the effective date.
Okay.
So you don't know when it's gonna come into effect,
Well, you guys made the motion to go with the April billing, which
Yes.
was the March.
If we can legally.
Service. Yeah, well, because it doesn't have to start until doesn't have to wait until their fiscal year. There was nothing located that had to wait until the fiscal year, so.
I asked it as well, again, and she also provided the state code.
Yeah, if they would have got the increase in January, I'm pretty sure that they were not gonna wait till July to implement it. So that was just a ridiculous conversation to me.
All right. You're gonna work on that order with Candace then?
Yes.
All right.
Mostly,
Thank you,
sorry,
guys.
Candace, mostly Candace, probably just Candace.
I think we have an example to follow. I'll read it.
All right, the fire department requested reimbursement for financial reviews. There's 3 of them. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm getting tired of being asked about it.
This is where they did an audit, right? And the work required an audit.
You required it, then,
Found that it wasn't the case, right?
yes.
So we just need to reimburse it.
Yeah.
We're saying.
I'll make a motion, we reimburse these 3 companies.
I'll second it.
I agree.
Okay,
Now, I'm assuming I need to write a resolution for that? Do I write one for that and send it? No.
We have the invoices for the fire department, so we'll base it on.
Okay.
okay. Your maintenance hire,
We're back in repost
Okay.
mode, so comes down next Friday for the,
We really need to get somebody.
so you guys want to
yeah,
talk?
we just had 2 that weren't,
You want to talk?
able to pass the
Well,
background.
didn't you say the first time that there was like 30 applicants?
Yes. Unfortunately, there was
Nobody
no
else?
experience. No experience.
We need one bed.
We need a lot.
You can probably get some new construction out of that if you.
All right, the notice of cancellation. Huh?
I'm laughing.
Oh, the Black Rock Wind Force, that's the,
That's the bond that's on the windmills, and it expires every 5 years, I think she said.
yeah, but I talked to Callie about that. Callie's taking care of it.
Yeah, they're, the
They
wind,
actually manage that.
Yeah, they do.
Is it
They-
clear?
Kelly did with,
What's it called? Clear,
Clearway.
Clearway.
Yes, I done talked to her about that.
Yeah, we met with her at
You-
Mineral County Day.
Yeah, yeah, she's gonna take care of that. All right, what's about the month to month?
Okay, so I
EST.
requested that from GST, not received it, but I did, for the meeting that we had. I've sent the information on to Nancy. The commission.
County Commission
Yes,
Association.
County Commission Association, they're gathering that information for those who have contracts with GST, and they're working on that for us. But I provided the contract that we have from December, but I don't have an updated one with the 30-day cancellation clause. So we're getting help from them, because we're not sure how to handle it.
Yeah, so the County Commission Association, the subject come up of GST, because so many
Yeah.
counties use it. And, the County Commission Association is working on getting the information, like she said. And they will possibly seek a lawyer for an injunction, is that the right word?
Yeah.
To allow us to be able to contract with the new company or do what we
Or
want.
with another
So,
company, yeah.
the one everybody left GST to go to, so.
Okay, approve the mileage rates. It went up from 70 to 72.5.
And make a motion, we approve the mileage rate.
I second that.
And then approve that also.
This is what we use for like in county supposedly, or local, but when they're going traveling, the sheriff has somebody going to Florida, then we use an IRS mileage rate for our policy.
But I'm gonna tell you what, I know I've turned some in.
We held it.
I don't want it.
Well,
Just,
well, that's
that's what I put, the old rate. I'm not
well, I
worried
was
about
gonna
it.
ask if this could be effective January first, because
Yeah, but I'm not worried about that little bit of money. At least my word.
that, in your motion, Jason,
It
be
says
effective.
January first.
Yeah, it says January 1.
Yeah, I couldn't change, but we did have to make a,
Effective date's January 1, what you got. But you, don't worry about mine. I'm not worried about that.
well, we're gonna make them all corrected. I mean,
I made it for something. So that's passed and okay, approved. Dog warden, new hire. Oh, I got a letter here,
You already did that. You already read his resignation.
yeah, I did. I wanted to see, does it have on that? What, I know I read it, but I wanted to see when's he quit? Does he already?
He already
It's already going.
He didn't, provide a.
Uh,
He did not provide.
He
a-
didn't provide 2 weeks? Okay, that's what I was looking for. I didn't know. You put some feelers out, you advertised it.
So I know we need to approve the posting.
I'll make a motion to approve the posting to hire a new
Yeah.
assistant dog
Or
warden.
second it too.
I agree.
Now, here's the other thing that's on this. I don't know what you do about the voluntary help at the dog pound.
So we have a request,
Yeah.
from the dog warden to, just a volunteer that's interested in coming to help. With weekends specifically with, I guess caring for animals that are there for the weekend, feeding, walking, things like that. I'm looking through state codes and just kind of researching to make sure there's no violation if we have someone come and volunteer. I just don't know myself, but understand enough for like workers' comp.
I'd rather not like mine,
You would have to pay workers' comp on this, even as a volunteer. We have to pay workers' comp for volunteer fire service.
And I agree with that. That's just what I'm trying to get the language around. I've never had volunteers at a place of employment before, so.
I would think you would have to pay her a payroll and she would have to designate that it gets donated back to the dog pound or something.
I don't think people are allowed to work for a free wage in at a place of employment. That would be my understanding of it.
Maybe she wanna be the assistant.
I don't think that this person wants that. They were looking for, just to help out, I guess. So more to come on that. Right now, we're not gonna move forward with it, I'm assuming, because we need to find out a little bit more about what we need to do.
but Missy does need help now.
Yeah,
That's what she
I know
has.
that. I talked to her about that. That's why she's
Yeah.
checking on that. It's out for bid. They're got some by 5.
Well, you wanna set a rate for the volunteer, though, I mean, she could,
Well, I don't have a problem on that.
and we would just have to run it through.
I don't understand why we couldn't, what's our going rate right now for part-time, 15?
Yes, sir.
Is that,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm good with
so
that.
I'll make a motion if this lady wants to work for part-time, 15 an hour.
I second.
And I approve that. Yeah, I wanna she needs help.
I know,
She needs it bad.
that's why I don't wanna, if we can do that, that's great.
Yeah,
If it's
it's sad. I think our sheriff wants to talk to us about off-duty vehicle use.
Yes, sir.
Give you a copy, policy. That we worked out. I'm sure. Basically, it's an enhanced visibility without staffing. You got more patrol vehicles throughout the county and no extra payroll costs. It's a natural deterrent on the effect of crime and traffic issues, and an increased sense of safety to the residents of Mendenhall County. There are many other agencies in the state that allow the off-duty use of vehicles by law enforcement agencies, not just this county, but state as well as other states in this country. We have proposed several times over the past year about different increases for the deputies as far as pay. And we do understand that that is limited to what we can do through the budget. However, this is an incentive, a small incentive to the officers, which would greatly improve morale without increasing salaries. It strengthens recruitment, retention, and like I said, it enhances the public safety presence countywide. So I just would like to present that to you guys to review, possibly discuss and either approve or disapprove at the next meeting.
Yeah, I'd like to read over, and I got a couple.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, but I'm pretty good at that. I don't like it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
The way things is happening, it might be good to have one setting in certain places. Okay,
Do they currently drive them home or they park down at the,
They're assigned their take home cruisers.
Yeah,
or they just don't drive them after hours?
now they're allowed so far out of county, and I can't remember what
That's
there's a
That's
limit
within
on
a
it.
commuting policy, that's for the officers that live outside of the county.
Yeah. Okay. You wanted, discuss and approve hires for chase car, Lauren Crown?
Yeah, Lauren, with her, the way my understanding is for EMS or medical profession, they usually work 3/12s, which is 36 hours, which constitutes a 40-hour week for them. And it just seems to always be, misunderstood as they do the timesheets and stuff. So she just wants to go, make sure she does a straight 40 hours a week, not just a 36. She does way more than that, quite a bit, but, that's where she would just like the wording to be that she works 40, not 3/12s. She'll do paperwork.
Well, how is she gonna put her 40? I don't have a problem with
Yeah.
that. How's she gonna put her 40?
She's pretty much already
She's
working
already doing
more
that.
than 4 hours administrative work.
Administrative stuff.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Like before and after a shift, that kind of thing.
Yeah, she just wants to make it official that way instead of.
There's a lot of
I think,
women,
yeah.
she gets
I
dinged
think I
all
wanted, I think I wanted to
10
like
to 8,
that
she's
anyway.
on work another hour and a half anytime.
40 hours for
Yeah,
her.
but just wanted to make it official that way, and
You wanna make it official?
I would like to make it official that, Lauren's hours would be, 40 hours a week.
Assuming that is made in a motion, I will second that.
And I'll approve that also.
And that it's effective January 15th or February 1st.
February 1.
Everyone.
It's just February 1. That'd be a simpler.
I think what part of the month we were in, I was like, wait, are we in the middle of the, we're the end of the month?
All right.
Back to the
All right.
sheriff.
Steve, you're already safe.
You did.
You wanna talk about the new hire? You wanna go into it? I see you got it.
Letters there,
Where's it at?
look at mountain.
Oh, I need to know. It's all right. Oh.
The last time the cycle was Matthew Fusey. He is a certified officer out of Pennsylvania.
Oh, he's certified already.
He is certified in PA,
You'll have to take a
which is
couple.
basically one of the reasons why I hired him on Friday. He filled the vacant spot we've had all year.
You'll have to go to Charleston for a couple of weeks.
Well, we have to complete his package, go before law enforcement professional standards to get his hours approved and make him certified within the state of West Virginia. And yes, in March, he would have to attend the 2 weeks that includes.
I'll make a motion that we hire Mr. What is it? Fuzzy? Fuzzy? Looks like fuzzy to me.
Your glasses on.
I'll make a motion, we hire him.
I'll second that.
Agree.
Now, how many short are you now? Depends, I know about.
If he's like any other sheriff, there are always 2 or 3 short.
Well, I know about. Might be.
And they always need to hire 5 more.
I don't need 5, I just need.
And it'll cut the overtime too.
Well, cut the overtime.
Hiring 2 more.
I'm just teasing.
Yeah, it would.
I'm just teasing. Okay,
I need to get them, then I can go ask for
I'll
money.
deal with you after the meeting, Mr. Day.
all right.
Thing in your packet was this letter of support, if you wanna read over that, decide whether you do or do not want that on the next agenda. It's just something to read later, I guess.
This is their support for my project, but Lawrence Welk.
Yeah, that's what,
I wish that we can read over at your leisure and then check into it, because you want to do some checking into it too, before we put that on the agenda for next time. You wanna go through the regular business before we go to the executive session, or?
yeah, wait, who is this executive session?
That's me. That's me in personnel.
Oh.
I guess, did you have anything else that wasn't already discussed?
I did receive a freedom of information request regarding compiled technologies. Don't know much about it, so I think you'd be the one I would talk to about that.
Yeah.
So I'll make a copy of it for you.
Just forward it to me. Are you the hard copy or e-copy?
I received it via mail.
Oh, okay.
Lauren, I went on the agenda for the next evening meeting to give a 2025 report from the ambulance. Sorry, I didn't make it January. I don't know what I was doing. I didn't think about it. The next evening meeting.
February 24th.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
5 a.m. 5 a.m.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can do that, but
Yeah. Okay.
You'll be here by yourself then, cause I won't be here.
I'll be outside waiting, right?
I might be getting up again, trying to get me a cup of coffee, but that'd be about it. I'm not sure February, I doubt I'll be up then.
you wanna go over these, commission meeting dates?
And why is that on there? Special meeting dates?
Oh, I usually list them, but because I wanted to list all the board due dates and stuff on there.
So you don't really have nothing on it?
No. Is
Okay,
that all you had under admin report?
no, I was gonna ask
You're gonna have to come over here, buddy. I'm not getting up till I got that door.
Candace if she had anything.
that door, they close the door. My knees are just a dead joke.
No.
I love her support for Lawrence Welk. I don't get it.
They want you,
You have to read through it.
if you read that down for her, you'll see that you're wrong.
I was.
Video of it.
Oh, yeah?
No, I'm just.
It's a,
I was gonna say, I didn't read that.
it's not a TikTok thing or anything. You want us to do any TikTok videos?
It's like,
I would love to see these guys do TikTok video.
do a what?
Ain't happening.
You guys would go viral.
Do a TikTok.
Yeah, do a TikTok video. Candace can orchestrate it.
Yeah.
Choreograph.
I'll have to get I don't even know how to do count. So, but try to go.
Okay, so Candace don't have anything to report?
Just looking through when was the last time we gave you a report?
13th.
13th, okay. Thank
The
you.
day of Mineral County Day.
Yeah, y'all three went to Mineral County days.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. All right.
Candace went to Mineral County Days too.
Yeah, okay.
January 18th through the 20th. Candace, Dutch and myself was down at the County Commission Association meeting. January 21st, Livestock Association meeting,
What day?
the 21st, that was a Wednesday night.
That was in the evening, right?
Evening, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause that morning you went to Martinsburg.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Martinsburg, audit training at 8:30.
Oh, I'll agree with that too.
No,
No, just,
Jason, myself, Candace. and-
Oh, that's right.
and the 22nd, we have the meeting here for the Frankfurt PFD. That's it.
Okay, I was down at Mineral County Days. I went to Region 8 on the 16th. I had a meeting with the auditors there. It was a Zoom meeting I had to cut there. I was at the Fountain Volunteer Fire Department banquet. I was at the auditors training in Martinsburg on the 21st. And On the 22nd, I had a Region 8 solid waste meeting. We was here at 6 o'clock, and I had a Zoom meeting, with, Pilgrim's Pride about water. Supplying water to a certain individual. I gotta get that set up.
You done?
Yes, sir.
All right, with the county days, after our last meeting, I also had a, County Commission Association executive meeting. And then we was also at the legislative conference, which was already mentioned. 21st, I had a workforce development meeting. And I had a planning commission meeting on the 21st, we had a work session on the 22nd. And then also had another workforce development, it was a training. It was on the 15th. I missed it, but I watched the video after, at least down Mineral County days, I watched the video afterwards. There was a training you had to do for workforce training. And I guess that's all I got.
Oh, and one other thing, Lauren, and I see Rhonda, are you on there from Piedmont?
Yep, I'm here.
Hey, I don't know if they have contacted you. I know Candace sent forward an email to you, but I have been talking to Jay Taylor, who is a state senator, and I've been talking to Rick Hillebrand, who is the House of Delegates, which you know real well, and trying to get you some money to tear that building down. Yeah, up there you want that.
Which building are you referring to, Roger? Hmm?
That brick building? The one we talked about on, Mineral County days.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
No, you're welcome. I hope there's some available there some way. Now, you can do a grant. There is money on a grant for that. I don't know what all those grants require, but just to let you know, we're trying to help you a little bit.
Right, we appreciate that. We actually did go through DLAP last year and got about 155,000. They were very, very pleased with the way we handled that. We had 10 buildings taken down. Of course, there's a lot of hoops that you have to jump through, make sure they have no historical significance, and then the asbestos removal and things like that. But we were able to get 10 of them torn down. We have 2 left on the list, the initial tear down list, that have already been through all the hoops, as I call them. So if there would be money available, we could certainly, after the bid process, we could get them down immediately.
Okay. Well, I hope you're the best getting the money.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that's it. You got anything?
Yeah, we did get twos out last week. Still waiting on my financial statement. Since my vendor retired, I was at the bottom of the list of my new vendor. And the NCOA cards, which is National Change of Address cards, did go out to over 3,500 voters in Mineral County. So whenever their address in voter does not match the address at the post office, it generates these cards. So we're also processing them out too.
Okay, Mayor Ball, what'd you have, sir?
I got three small items, not for big discussion or anything, but just to sort of raise issues. Our gas station up here the days are probably numbered.
Yeah.
The municipal government has acquired a 1,000-gallon fuel tank for our vehicles. We've had some discussion about what happens if the fire department is in an emergency situation. And the simple fact is, if the fire department's in an emergency situation, we're going to give them fuel. But I'd really love for it to be legal. And I think there is some sort of legal framework that we have to set up between the municipal government and the county for us to transfer stuff back and forth. We don't have a lawyer that specializes in that. So if somebody could take a look at that. I ran across some reference back in October when we were talking about it And I spent about 6 hours today trying to find what I found, and I can't.
All right, we got Colby Simpson's here from Short Gap.
We used to be able to get fuel from the Department of Highways and Short Gap's Fire Department. They just, the state would issue us an invoice once a month for fuel that you go up and you do whatever it was. There was a state had a fuel card and we had it. And so that would be an option. I think there's a Department of Highways shed up top there at the top of the mountain,
That's the expected default. But we're just in, a couple of my council members are on the fire department, and they said, what if that doesn't work? And I said, well, obviously we're not going to let a house burn down or somebody gets stuck in a cold house. But if there's a legal framework that we can have for an emergency.
But I mean, I understand that. We have fuel credit cards for regular credit in all of our units, and we put a diesel fuel tank in at our station and have it delivered by Southern States.
Yeah.
We use it because it's the cheapest way we can do it anyhow.
Yeah, we've had some discussions. They're concerned about space. But yeah, if that's what I said, I don't know if this is ever going to be an agenda item, but something that maybe a lawyer can look at. There's a document. In my military days, we would have called it an MOA, a memorandum of agreement. But I'm sure there's some sort of document if that's something that anyone's interested in. We have, and this is sort of a long-term thing. The town has a front-end loader that we use a lot in support of the fire department and ambulance company to basically dig their way in if it's too tough for the equipment to get in. It's on life support. It's from the 1970s, and we'll keep it alive as long as we can. But we do have some concerns of what happens when that goes away, and can we work out something with the county or with the fire department? Again, that's a legal issue with the county of how where we can maintain it and basically try to continue what we're doing. But the fact is, we don't have money to replace it.
Do you have any contact with State Road?
I don't personally, but I know I mean, they put stuff up for auction and things.
Yeah, sometimes they'll give that out to municipalities and stuff to help out.
Right.
Maybe.
You're talking about a piece of equipment that new runs 150,000. So even in the worst used, it's 20 or 30,000, and our total annual revenue is 45. So
yeah.
It's a real struggle. Anyway, that's just something I just want to get out there in case somebody hears of something or has some great idea. A big item that I'm sure is going to be an agenda item. I'm sure you got the mailing from the Secretary of State regarding the census coming up and adjusting boundaries. So we're back. I have a legal requirement to update the boundaries, and I have no legal boundary. The only way there is Lauren probably has been looking at this a little bit. There is a requirement that we're now in the initial period, January 10th to March 31st, where problems need to be identified. I think Elk Garden qualifies as a problem. The report to the state is a county form, so I'm assuming that has to come from the county. I'm happy to provide all the documentation. Your own GIS folk already have some of the shape files, which is one of the specific things they ask about. We have a lot of the old maps, so happy to work together, get everything we can to you, but that's got to go up to the state as an issue.
Jason did pretty well summed up when he worked on it.
Well, may I? Mr. Bob, I have actually spoken to Mr. Seitz and also had communications with the Secretary of State's office and the representative from the census that came. They did a whole presentation on the election and the census and the blocks. And I brought up your boundaries and where we are right now. We do need our next step. Before we can do anything is we have to have a survey. I had been in communication with a surveyor to get me a price that I was going to hopefully bring before the commission. And I didn't know if there was going to be any compromise. I know you don't have funding. What can be arranged between, I can't speak for the commission or the municipality, but if something can be done depending on what this price range is gonna be in talking to the surveyor. Because it's more or less just the streets that need to be defined. Once we have that survey, and we are in a time frame, but we have to have that survey, so then we can proceed with the rest of the action to clean your boundaries. But yes, you're my main area of concern with this redistricting, and as you mentioned, your revenue is only 45,000. So this will, the city.
What are you looking at first?
I'll have that quote hopefully by the next meeting. I was hoping to have it for this meeting.
We might be able to come up with some money, I know.
Well, depending on what the survey was, I was hoping it wasn't gonna be too painful. But it does need to be done, and also with Piedmont, I think we pretty much, we just have those houses that were on the side that we need to clean up for Piedmont as well. But my municipalities is a concern. There's some other census blocks we're working on, but yes, we will communicate and we'll keep in touch because we need this moving fast.
Right, now get on the list before everybody else does.
Is that it, Mayor Bob?
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, has anybody else got any input on the Zoom?
We go into executive session, talk about personnel issues.
Do you want to, I'll second that. Before we do that, you want to do these accounts payable so everybody can leave, because we can't make their decisions.
There's not many, look, there's not many.
Yeah, let's do that. and
Oh, it's on our.
We're done. Because get the exonerations and the estates and all that stuff.
If someone bought that store,
Yeah.
if someone would buy Jones's store, then
That's your, I pump a lot of it. It's
not
going.
for sale, but it would be nice if you did that, because they have fuel pumps, that's the only place in town.
Yeah. That's where I feel, but, oh, I'm thinking of.
Are you thinking of the sex profit?
Yeah. Jones is out the other end of town. Yeah.
But I know that. Yeah, those are
Good
the-
sandwiches in there.
a long time, I used to go there as a kid a lot, I ride my bike up there.
You're going out on.
I know what front end loader we're talking about. That front end loader is old, been around, not even, I remember as like a small child.
Makes sense.
It'll be more than 20 cents,
To balance it out though.
but,
We do then try to be preliminary.
put it on. Give it to Joel, let him pay for the entire meeting. Yeah.
You look down first.
No, wait a minute, I'll get on, go with it.
These are triple seal. Which, see a friend or she's having up with this. Well, right there, I'm not even gonna have you sign two of these, so that's what I'll have to run some more.
Well, if you need something else signed, I'll be in town, so I was told I would be in town Thursday, so.
Would you do, right here in the middle, and there's only two of them there. So if I would have to make a request, the documents for another date, we would have to have this where I sign it as well. It's a printer.
Yeah.
Get them on there.
Sure. Just the ones in the middle, so if you need anything signed, let me know about the Thursday. You want me to let you date it?
Yes, don't date it, I don't date it, because it might not be for another, we probably don't have we did a request about that. We date it for the certified.
On that draw for the 2021.
I'm pulling her off of you.
Whatever you want.
I like the joke. No, I'm just.
Okay. Now, what did you need me to do?
Do me?
Nothing. You didn't hear anything? Oh, okay.
Oh, I'll get that there signed, yeah. Just bear with me a minute. I don't believe I know her. Great. Yeah.
And when you do get requested this, there is a copy. So we did request and receive documentation.
Oh, I know who.
Photocopy key.
Okay.
Whenever somebody's requesting something, we charge that person
Oh,
the copy.
okay.
I didn't know that. If you just said.
Oh, so like when we send what they're requesting, they get like an invoice or something?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. Thank you. I'll make a note of it.
I found it. More like that. Oh, here.
Did you already send donations, Jason?
No,
I have not.
I have signed that.
Oh, he's got two holes.
Yeah.
You probably started last couple days.
Yeah. 3 days of it, I'm
Well,
done.
listen, if they're bantering around about another brainstorm here, I'm gonna have to.
Me and my four-wheeler did all we could do.
This was a heavy snow though.
Oh, it got heavy. Well, you know what? I did it like twice. Like I have, it's probably a 300-yard long road and it's a hill and I set it up so I can do it all downhill. I start and I move across a little bit at a time. And I got down there at the end and it was, I don't know, and then I didn't do it. I should have done it 3 times instead of 2. Well, when it was all done and all that sleep was on it, I don't know, yesterday I hit a big pile of what I thought was snow. I guess it was all snow and it just flopped me over the handlebars and I landed on a pile with the plow and rolled down into the snow.
I have that on video, I wish you had.
yeah, you know, it's good.
It's Sunday morning, I didn't have any problem up until about.
And I rode down to the fire station and worked down there some. And then I rode all the way out to my parents' house, which it was miserable because it was sleeting and the sleet was hitting me in the face. Other than that, you know, it pushed pretty good early, but then after that, so you try
That sleep really,
and
I plowed Vanell's right as it just started sleeting,
yeah.
and that was a mistake, and then I went back later and I couldn't plow it, and my plow just kept falling over and.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was terrible.
It's messy.
Oh, no, I didn't see Kevin for the lessons. Oh, that's what I thought we had about. Did you think I was old? She sounded like she had, she sounded like it was that. Fridays?
Yeah.
I go to sign.
It was brought to my attention. Keep.
Does this all go with that?
Couple of the guys in the office, when I'm gonna lady go ahead, file and get all that done. Yeah, so those Jimmy teachers said, get the keys to do that.
Oh, really?
So, if you're,
There's the key that's here. Let me make a note of it.
it's actually right from 21 this day, usually say, in the JJ, used to do that. So, if you're up for that, I can help you get out. Mission going by the dress party, I did find it. What? I knew you hear that.
What we're gonna buy?
No. Candace already approved, you're good.
Really? Yeah, so I think there's one. I did too after that. I can't figure out what he did. One day I went to her house, they had a nice home. Yeah. That's the one that burned up on West End. How far that woman burned that down? This is for sure. That's so. Very safe.
This wording was like.
All this other stuff you don't have. What is your other benefit?
Well, there's no reason, I don't see why we think. I'm gonna tell you. No, I didn't. I went to the judge. The judge said it's not. So.
Yes.
All these guys. We take it down and go with it. Yeah. It's not even more than that. Oh, I'm with you. I don't know. I don't know.
I think we also should come up with some kind of policy for county employees.
Both of these, I signed both of these. Just this one?
That one is this one.
Right. Soon we put the old one here, we can't do that.
Twice. The one in December 22nd.
And let her, I think so, us we get. And what you do is not.
It's the only two places.
One of us.
And I'll send it back to Mo.
Get a letter from the other saying. Yeah, but other than that.
The other thing, we also should have a policy on how we're gonna elect people to board. That way, have it in writing.
You want to tell you,
And
I'm going to help you. Hey, are you gonna let AJ know? Would you let, or you want me to let him know?
He's on the email. Whatever, but it's in the back.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I put him on it.
Well, make a motion, we approve the accounts payable. I'll second that. I make a motion, we approve the estates,
And I'll second that.
and I make a motion, we approve the exonerations.
Second that.
Is there any purchase order tonight, Jim?
See any?
I didn't see him, I didn't see him. Huh?
Don't see it, purchase order, anything?
Yeah.
I didn't remember seeing it. And then we had Jason, it's motion to executive session for personnel.
Personnel.
For second.
Okay, that's fine.
How's that? And this place, come into.
Executive session.
I'd like to make a motion as we come out of executive session. I'm gonna make a motion that we, relieve Luke of all his county duties here in the county, have the sheriff's department, grab his computer and all the passwords and keys. That I also want to make the motion that we temporarily put the 911 under the sheriff's department. And that as we move forward, we'll immediately post a job for the 911 director. And while we're looking, the sheriff's department will be the intern director of the 911 center until we find a employee to.
Who will be the director?
The sheriff. Until we find somebody to replace, or we make a decision on what we want to do down the road.
Joe, you good with that?
Joe, I'd like to ask you a question. I'd like to ask you a question. How is the dispatchers up there now? Are they good ones?
Honestly, sir, I can't answer that. I don't have much communication with the dispatcher now. I can check with my department, but I can't answer that.
All right, just wondered.
Can you handle running 911 temporarily?
I know, yes, I believe we can. I know there's other counties in the county and state that the sheriff's department does run them. Basically, just, it's gotta be run off CJI's policy.
Is that all your motion, Jason?
I trying to think if there's anything else we need to add to that. Yes, that. I don't know if the sheriff needs to go and meet him and get his computer and stuff, but. If I need to make that in the form of a motion,
With that motion.
so. That's it. If you don't want to stand by, then that's fine. Okay.
Sorry, Roger, I'm going to second the motion.
Well, my vote's no. I'm sure that's in writing. Cause I know what it was several years ago, and I know where you brought it to, and I think this is a mistake. But like a lot of other things, it's always two against one. Is that all the business we have?
I'll motion adjourn.
And I'll second.